What's up, guys? UFC 320 is going down this weekend. The main event is Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. This is one of three videos that I'm going to make about the top three fights on the card. So make sure you check out my Corey versus Marab video and my Yuri video. Those will be coming out on Thursday and Friday, probably around like 10 o'clock or something. I don't know when I'm going to record them, but those will be coming out. But this video is going to be me breaking down Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. I'm going to be breaking down what I think is going to happen, what I think their game plans should be, and I'm going to give an official pick at the end. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. The first slide that I have here is strengths. This is pretty self-explanatory. I think, you know, strengths are what they do well. So for Pereira, we've got kicks. Everybody knows he's got devastating calf kicks. In the first fight, he used some body kicks and head kicks very well too. Power, he hits very hard, even with his jabs. He's just got a lot of power in his hands. And his reach, he's got long arms for his height. I think he has a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage over Ankalaev. And this time around, he knows that he can defend the takedowns. That is going to give him some more confidence, and I think it will allow him to be a little bit more aggressive and commit a little more to his strikes, because that was a big problem in the first fight. He wasn't really committing to anything. Now, whether that was because of the takedowns, I'm not so sure. We'll get into that later. But for Magomed, for his strengths, I've got his boxing. He has the best boxing in the division. I don't even think there's an argument. His defense is also amazing. You'll never find him overextending with a punch, really, or having his chin up or his hands down. He doesn't leave a lot of openings. And his speed, he's able to light Pereira up on the feet in the first fight, just because he's so fast, and he's really good in that close boxing range. He's got very fast hands. So that was a big problem for Pereira in the first fight. So, next slide. Pardon me if my voice is a little raspy and I keep coughing. I'm sick right now. This video would have come out on Monday, but I've been sick all week, and I'm just now starting to feel like I'm able to talk. So, next slide. Weaknesses. Now, boxing defense. Some of you guys might be thinking, oh, well, Pereira was a glory kickboxer. What do you mean he's got bad boxing defense? In his fights, Pereira does fight with his hands pretty low. He stands very tall, and he doesn't move his head a lot. You will see him, land some slip counters when he's really getting in the zone, like versus Khalil in that fight. At the end of the fight, he was landing some really nasty slip counters, but a lot of the time, he's there to be hit, especially with straight punches against somebody as fast as Ankalaev. His defense leaves a lot to be desired, and the clinch we saw in that first fight, in rounds that were close, very even on the feet, Ankalaev was able to clinch up, land knees to the thigh, some knees to the body, and land some little rabbit punches where, those things might not be effective if he was losing on the feet. In a close, even round, those things can make the difference on the judges' scorecards. Just getting clinch control time, very important, and Pereira gave up a lot of control time in the clinch. He got stuck to the fence a lot. Round 4 was basically all clinching. So Pereira is going to have to get out of the clinch. He should not let Ankalaev grab onto him and keep him on the fence. So yeah, these are their strengths and weaknesses that I've thought of. Now the next couple slides are going to be takeaways from the first fight. First one, Pereira's takedown defense. A lot of people in that first fight, including me, expected him to get taken down. But the reason that I picked him in the first fight was because I thought he would be able to get up. And I thought that Ankalaev might get tired after some wrestling, because he is not really a wrestler. He does have very good wrestling. But as we saw, Pereira was able to stuff every takedown, including this takedown right here. This is a fairly deep takedown. Ankalaev got in really deep on some of those takedowns. And Pereira's takedown defense is underrated. He is no longer a a kickboxer with no takedown defense. You could have said that was true back when he fought Izzy, But now I think his takedown defense is on another level. He has incredible takedown defense. Um, and he really, showed that. He's really strong. He's good at getting the underhooks and just stopping the takedowns just with his pure strength. Like it's hard to manipulate him, especially because he's so heavy. Magomed's not the biggest light heavyweight. I would be surprised if he was over like 220, where I think Pereira in the cage probably gets up to like 230, 235 on fight night. So it's going to be hard for Magomed to really manipulate him. He's going to have to get in on a super deep takedown after Pereira overextends to be able to take him down. So this is a very important point or takeaway from the first fight. As you can see, he defended 12 takedowns. Next takeaway, Pereira's kick-heavy game plan. Now, as you guys can see in the picture, this is Pereira throwing an outside calf kick that just completely missed. Ankalaev was able to step back, get his leg out of the way, and he kept throwing these outside calf kicks because he's fighting a southpaw. And a lot of people, including myself, going into the first fight, were thinking, oh, yeah, Pereira's going to buckle this guy's legs. Magomed's going to be wearing the buckle hat. Um, and that was just not the case. That didn't happen. And it was because these outside calf kicks have no power. And as you can see here, they're very easy to get out of the way of. Magomed can just walk through them like nothing. He doesn't even have to check them. They don't do damage to him. Um, and I would say part of that is he's just gotten better at dealing with low kicks since the Blachowicz fight. But a big part of it was Pereira wasn't throwing any inside calf kicks. It's risky. I understand that. Especially if you're going to go shin to shin with somebody, it is risky. You can hurt your leg, but we saw Blachowicz was able to do it. I think Pereira could be able to replicate that strategy. Um, just throwing inside calf kicks, doing real significant damage, and if he can do that, he can compromise Magomed's lead leg. It's going to affect his movement, and then it's going to be easier to hit him because Magomed has very good movement. He's always at the distance that he wants to be at, and he's got incredible footwork. So if you can, mitigate that, Pereira is going to be able to land on him a lot more. So the kick-heavy game plan from the first fight, throw that out the window. It's not like he shouldn't ever throw the outside calf kicks with his lead leg. I think he needs to tone it way down though and focus more on the inside calf kicks, the body kicks, and the head kicks. And the way he throws kicks, it basically looks the same for all of those. So he can set up his calf kicks with body kicks or head kicks. He can mix it up. And we saw he was able to land some good head kicks in round 5. He did hurt Magomed with a head kick. People like to pretend that didn't happen. He stumbled Magomed. Magomed got hit with a head kick that he partially blocked, but it still rattled him. He was backing up. You could see him get a little shaky. And I think Pereira really needs to be looking to land those kicks in this fight. Next takeaway, Magomed's pressure. As you can see in the picture, Magomed is backing Pereira up, making him, get his back against the fence. And this is very important for a multitude of reasons. When you're backing up, you don't have any space. Magomed's getting in that boxing range. He's better than you there. You as in Alex Pereira. He's better than Pereira. Pereira doesn't have space to throw the kicks that he wants to throw. And Magomed was able to just constantly back him up, get Pereira moving on the back foot, which is something that he's not really used to. I know he did, knock out Yuri on the back foot in their first fight. But when you have somebody who pressures very intelligently like Magomed, who's just inching forward, not overextending, but at the same time, he's got heavy pressure, it's a big problem. It makes Pereira very uncomfortable, and this is one of Magomed's best attributes. He's a counter striker that moves forward, and he's very good at catching you when you overextend or if you're in a bad position, and he's always making you uncomfortable, making you back up. So Pereira is going to need to be able to mitigate that, and I think he can do that with his jabs. He did not throw a lot of jabs in that first fight at all. I know it's a southpaw versus orthodox matchup. That doesn't mean he can't throw any jabs. When Magomed is coming forward, he's about to get into that boxing range. Pereira needs to use his reach advantage. Just throw a jab, step off, just circle out, and it's going to be a lot harder for Magomed to keep him against the cage because Pereira does have very heavy jabs, and that comes into the strengths that I mentioned earlier, his power. He can hurt Pereira, or he can hurt Magomed just with jabs. So I think he needs to really focus on that. Next takeaway, Magomed's boxing / speed. Magomed has incredibly fast hands. I would say probably the fastest in the division. Maybe, there's some fighters like Khalil Roundtree is really fast, Olberg's fast, but Magomed's hands are really fucking quick, and he just has incredible boxing in general. This ties into his defense. He's not really overextending, and he's super fast. Pereira has a weakness in this area. He's fighting a southpaw. Magomed is really good with that left hand. He just throws that left hand out there. He loves his check hook. His hands are just incredibly good. He's a very well-trained fighter. He's very educated, and he sticks to the fundamentals, like his footwork. Nothing too flashy, but it's amazing. It's effective, and it's very basic. But he's taken the basics to a super high level. And this is another area where Magomed is very good. We saw he was able to drop Pereira in round 2 of their fight. I think he can do it again. His boxing is incredible. Next takeaway. This ties into the last one, the defense. His hands are always high, especially that rear hand you see back there. It's always up. He's always protecting his chin. His chin is always tucked. He doesn't overextend on punches. He's always at the range that he wants to be at. I can go on and on. He's got good head movement. His defense is just incredible, and we really saw that in the first fight. Pereira was not able to land on him. There, you can hand pick moments in that fight. There's 3 moments where Pereira really lands something effective, especially with the hands. Pereira, if he's going to do real damage in this fight, it's going to have to start with the kicks, and it cannot be those outside calf kicks that he was throwing. It's got to be heavy body kicks, heavy high kicks to damage Magomed's arms, heavy inside calf kicks, go shin to shin. It's going to fuck up both your shins if he checks it. So yeah, Magomed, very, very good defense. What they need to change, what their game plans should be. Alex, I think he needs more jabs, more inside calf kicks, less outside calf kicks. He needs to be jabbing, circling, keeping his back off the fence. And if he can do that early on, I think later in the fight he'll be able to pressure Magomed, get him backing up, and he could work his way to a finish. But he's going to have to focus on those inside calf kicks. That's the biggest thing. And the jabs, when Magomed is trying to get in range, trying to pressure, put that jab out there. That is a big adjustment that he needs to make. And Magomed Ankalaev, what he needs to change, I don't think he needs to change a whole lot, except more body kicks and more teep kicks. We also saw against Khalil Roundtree, Pereira ducked into a head kick. I think if Magomed is throwing those teep kicks, throwing those body kicks, he's going to be able to get Pereira backing up, especially with the teep kicks, and he can set up his head kick. He's got a very good head kick. I saw him throwing it in embedded. He's got very good kicks. That's something people don't talk about with Magomed. He's a dangerous kicker. I think he needs to throw more body kicks in this fight. Work at Pereira's gas tank, get him hurt into the body. I think that is a good adjustment. But for Magomed, I think he just needs to keep it the same. Stay very defensive, stay tight, get that forward pressure going. Just pick at Alex with your boxing, and deal with the kicks. And I think he can do it. My official pick, Magomed by TKO. I know the title of this video is Alex has all the tools to beat Magomed, and I think he does. I went over what he needs to do, but it's just a matter of him being able to do it. I don't know if he can. I don't trust him to make all those adjustments, especially with the way he's been talking about the fight. He's acting like he won, and I get it, but he's acting like Magomed did nothing to him. Magomed is the only person in that fight who had a real significant moment, like oh shit moment, where he almost finished the fight. Magomed's younger. He's going to be the one making improvements at this point in his career. Pereira has been doing this for a long time. He's been fighting forever. He's like 38. He's only going to be declining physically. Um, Magomed is faster, and he's just a nightmare matchup with all the things I went over. I got him listed here: the boxing, the speed, the wrestling, and the defense. I think Magomed shouldn't abandon shooting takedowns in this fight. I think it's important to get the idea in Pereira's head, even if he's not going to get the takedowns. I think he still needs to shoot a couple. Um, so yeah, I'm going with Magomed by TKO. That's what I think about the fight. Let me know. What do you guys think? Um, this is a good matchup. I can't wait for it, and have a good day.